John didn't mention my winning record as a coach many years. We focused on character. We were very good at that. We won't talk about my winning record. I will say, though, I take a lot of pride in the players that we've been fortunate to have on our teams over the years. 2 years ago, there were 3 veteran teams in the high school state playoffs at Holy Innocents, Marist, and North Atlanta, and all 3 of their quarterbacks at one point played on the team that we led. And for the record, we played those kids at safety, tight end, and running back when they were here. So we had fun, though, and we continue to have fun. I played in middle school and high school. I love this game. I tell people I have world-class speed for 5 yards. For 5 yards, I had world-class speed. And I was away from the game for about 20 years until my son got old enough to play when he started here at NYO. That was 14 years ago. He aged out. I'm still here. I don't know when I'll age out. So why did I introduce him to football? It's because I loved it, and as a parent, you try to introduce your kids to things, introduce them to a lot of things, particularly things that you think might be meaningful. We're not born knowing everything, we're born knowing nothing, and so I want to at least expose them to the greatest game of all. And why do I think it's the greatest game of all? Well, there's many reasons, but one of the most important things is more so than any other sport, it takes a real team to have success. Learning about teamwork at any age is very important, in my opinion anyway. Football players, guys and gals that love football, people that play football, it's very simple how you stand up and how you look at other people, and the lessons you learn in football really are very basic. Football players, as I've come to think about it, really measure the ability of players and teammates in really 2 measures. How well did you do your job, and what level of effort did you give? Did you try really hard, and did you do your job? What level of success? And that's how you measure football. And the other thing I felt more recently is, drawing from my own experience, in football there are really 2 colors. Think about this, there are really 2 colors. It's your jersey color and that color of the opponent, and nothing else. So guys that play football, I mean, you really, you're focused on your team and your opponent, and nothing more than that. I think it's really important. Football gives you confidence. I'll talk about that in a second. It really gives you confidence. It gives you an opportunity to make new friends. Just a quick story, a couple stories about my son as a point of reference. So 14 years ago, he stepped on the field for the first time over there at Pee Wee Field. He knew no one on the team. Didn't know his coach, didn't know any of his teammates, nobody. He stepped on the field, and for the only time in all the years he played through middle school and high school, I only had to nudge him once. He's like, "Daddy, I'm not so sure about this." And I said, "Just give it a try. I think you'll like it." And that first practice, he got depleted. He was like, big clump of grass in his face mask. And I was standing there, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is the moment of truth. He's either going to run away crying out, or he's going to do something else." And he got up, kind of shook his pads, and pulled the grass out of his face mask, and I kind of smiled. I said, "He's going to be a football player." He played for 5 years out here, played middle school, and then played through high school. That first season, 14 years ago, he didn't know anyone, but he made several friends, and one friend in particular. They didn't go to the same school. They never went to the same school. But they stayed in touch. They actually competed against each other, literally, in high school. His friend played defensive end, he played offensive tackle, and they had some battles. Fast forward, they're juniors at the University of Georgia. They both pledged the same fraternity 2 years ago, and they're the greatest of friends. And it started 14 years ago over here on Pee Wee Field. Secondly, those friendships, that same year, we met a lot of people. He and I, and my wife, I don't know a lot of people. And so now that he's at the University of Georgia, from time to time, he'll see an old buddy from many years ago. He'll come up, and they'll do the guy hug and all that. And his really cool. How do you know Dominic White? He plays for the Dogs. How do you know him? That's really cool. He's like, I've known this kid all my life. We played NYO football. So, really cool friends, really great friendships. I can't say enough about the sport. Football gives you discipline and mental dexterity, mental toughness. And I don't mean to make light of that. The notion of mental health is certainly and appropriately at the forefront in our thoughts today. Unfortunately, my 24-year-old daughter, my 20-year-old son, have had direct exposure to friends that made the ultimate decision, unfortunately. So I'm not saying that the game of football will solve everything, but it does give you experiences, it does give you opportunities to work through challenges, to work through hurdles, to develop a sense of discipline and diligence and persistence, and most importantly, know that there's a brotherhood that will always be there for you when things aren't as great as you would like them to be. The other thing that's great about football is that you can grow with the sport of football. At NYO, into your school, at middle school, and in some cases, and through high school, and in some cases beyond high school. Unlike so many competitive sports today that require year-round training and specialization, everybody can play football. Everyone. It's a no-cut sport in virtually every school that I'm aware of. And I brought the ball because I'm a real football guy. I walk on the football. But the football is symbolic of life in and of itself, in my opinion, in that it's perfectly imperfect. The ball bounces a little funny. It doesn't look the same to everybody. People hold it differently. I think it's representative, and I think that just more everybody can play. So whether it's flag or tackle, it's the greatest sport to me, and I'm unapologetic in my passion for this sport. So with that, welcome to those of you who are new to NYO. Welcome back to those who are returning. We're excited that you're here. We're excited that your children are here. Our goal is for you, or is for your children, and for you too, to have a great experience. To learn the game, to learn to love the game, to keep wanting to play every year. In our flag leagues, as we transition to tackle, we want you to keep playing, because it's just the greatest sport ever. And I hope you'll learn to love it just like I do and so many other things. So, real quick about flag. We got over 275 players in our flag program this year, making up over 24 teams in our kindergarten, first and second grade league. To give you some perspective, that represents almost 40% of all registrations at NYO. We're very excited about that. Like every other league, like the tackle leagues, our goal is to have fun, to be safe, do it in a safe manner. Our coaches go through the same certification as the tackle coaches do in terms of being well versed on those signs for when a kid's not looking great or whatever. We play our games through the week, Monday through Thursday for the second grade, and then late afternoon until Friday and Saturday